Can I start the show with a question? Because I'm going to. How the hell are we not energy independent? We're the United States of America. Okay, I'm good. March Madness is kicking off, and it doesn't feel like anybody cares. Rand Paul has a game plan to take down Fauci the Grouch. Americans are cool with paying more for gas and electricity. Good, I guess, because electric bills are going up. China sees a win-win from the Ukraine situation. Romney picks a fight with Tulsi. Musk picks a fight with Putin. Days of free crypto exchange are numbered. Another big show today. Let's check out our first story in the Rooney Bin. But first, if you are new, welcome to the Jay Rooney Show. Please don't forget to subscribe to my Rumble channel. I'm on YouTube as well, but Rumble doesn't censor things like Ukraine's on Fire documentary. So I think you should go check that out. And I support free speech, so I support Rumble. Then we have Romney and The View attacking free speech. See, folks, totalitarianism is happening on both sides of the political aisle. It's not just Democrats. Nowadays, when you don't like what somebody says, you call for their arrest. You label them false things. You want to cancel them. But that's not free speech. Free speech is being able to say out loud whatever your opinion is without legal recourse or losing your job. Of course, you're going to get a backlash of opinions, and we should have conversations. We should always discuss ideas and issues and various topics. If you don't know much about Tulsi Gabbard, who's a former Congresswoman of Hawaii, she's run for president and served in our military. She's always been upfront about being anti-war. Mitt Romney accused Tulsi Gabbard of treasonous lies that may cost lives over Russian-Ukraine's invasion. Senator Romney fiercely criticized former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii on Sunday and suggested that her remarks about the existence of so-called U.S. biolabs in Ukraine would result in people being killed. I don't always agree with Tulsi, just like I don't always agree with anybody, but I've always known her to speak the truth. People keep trying to smear her. I don't know about this and all the details, but I would think she knows more about the biolabs than you or I would. But you would also think Romney would as well. I wonder what Romney was thinking, because you know Tulsi doesn't back down to a fight, and that you better be right if you're going to challenge her, because she is typically right. Naturally enough, Romney got what was coming. Tulsi responded to Romney that she's just repeating what has come out from U.S. reports. And part of the reason I like her so much is that she never backs down. She's a real leader. She's being tested right now. And as far as we know, she's just repeating the facts. Media.defense.gov said that there are biolabs over there, and the Pentagon confirmed it. The View called for Tulsi's arrest. They want a DOJ investigation. The View is a pro-totalitarian show. I want to be careful and also say that I do have a little empathy for the hosts of The View. If you haven't, or if you have noticed, I'm really into mindfulness, exercise, and my diet. Mental health is really important to me, and why I volunteered towards helping those with mental health issues, and part of the Jay Rooney Project is to get more involved with my community in terms of working with mental health. So I think the hosts of The View are really sick. Maybe they're getting paid a lot of money to say whatever. I do get that to an extent. It's up to people like you and I to know better, and that's part of free speech, right? So maybe it's those telling the hosts of The View what to say are the ones suffering from something. Maybe hate, maybe it's animosity. You would like to think when you make it to that level in your career and you have that much money, they could invest into their health and spend a little bit more time researching. The fact that people like this have a show and that people are watching is really troubling, to say the least. Obviously, we're struggling with mental health in our country, and I'm worried that people struggling with mental health issues are attracted to shows like The View. Please turn it off, people. Crypto news. U.S. Labor Department is right about 401k warnings. The recent U.S. Labor Department warning to fiduciaries who offer cryptocurrency investments inside 401k plans makes sense, one crypto executive told Yahoo Finance. I think the Department of Labor is right to say, heed caution, and don't just jump barrel in to this because it's popular and you need to offer it. Be pragmatic about it. Chris Klein, COO and co-founder of Bitcoin IRA, an investment platform that allows investors to roll over their IRAs and 401k plans into an IRA capable of holding multiple cryptocurrencies, said on Yahoo Finance. Whew, that was a mouthful. But I think the days of saying Bitcoin is a fraud and it's over and it's gone are behind us. The DOL's action came on the heels of President Joe Biden's executive order on Wednesday acknowledging cryptocurrency assets as prevalent enough to warrant federal studies and possible regulation. The agency's Employee Benefit Security Administration said in a compliance assessment release that plan fiduciaries should exercise extreme care before offering cryptocurrencies and cryptocurrency-tied investments within 401k plans. The agency emphasized that the obligation of fiduciaries to act solely in the financial interest of the plan participants is among the highest known to law. I think what's really going on here and what Biden was saying last week is that crypto will now be regulated. And like I said the other day, like I said last week, this is what I expect. But I hope I'm wrong. I've only heard a few people bring this up. And, I really thought this would be a bigger story. But maybe those investigating journalists out there are hard at work figuring out what's really going on here. So I'm sure there's more to come. China sees at least one winner emerging from the Ukraine war. Surprise, surprise, it's China. The war in Ukraine is far from over, but consensus is forming in Chinese policy circles that one country stands to emerge victorious from the turmoil: China. After a confused initial response to Russia's invasion, China has laid the building blocks of a strategy to shield itself from the worst economic and diplomatic consequences it could face and to benefit from the geopolitical shifts once the smoke clears. China's leader has avoided criticizing President Vladimir Putin of Russia, but he has also tried to distance China from the carnage. His government has denounced the international sanctions imposed on Russia, but so far, at least, has hinted that Chinese companies may comply with them to protect China's economic interests in the West. Xi reached out to the European leaders last week with vague offers of assistance in negotiating a settlement, even as other Chinese officials amplified Russian disinformation campaigns meant to discredit the United States and NATO. Officials in Washington claimed, without providing evidence, that after the invasion, Russia asked China for economic and military assistance, which a Chinese official did denounce on Monday as disinformation. I don't believe it. I'm not buying, but, if China did speak the truth, I probably wouldn't believe it. So who knows? China is definitely playing both sides. What do they care? Like they said, they think they're going to emerge victorious anyways. Based on what I knew or know, it's hard to believe the Russians would ask China for military aid. I think it's Putin's way of trying to get them to take a side and get them involved. But I'm just a schmuck bringing you the news that I find important. So this is great. Really great. Rand Paul introduces an amendment to eliminate Fauci's position as NIAID director. Senator Paul on Monday introduced an amendment that would eliminate Dr. Anthony Fauci's position as the director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease and decentralize it so that no one person could act as director-in-chief. In the name of public health, the senator said, Paul's amendment would recognize the NIAID by breaking it down into three separate national research institutes, all with their own director, including the National Institute of Allergy Diseases, the National Institute of Infection Diseases, and the National Institute of Immunologic Diseases. Yes, Senator Paul. And by the way, where is Fauci the Grouch? I haven't heard anything from him in a while. I've often thought about, how does this guy still have a job? And you know what? Honestly, why didn't Trump fire him? We have learned a lot in the past 2 years, but one lesson in particular is that no one person should be deemed the director-in-chief, Paul said in a statement announcing the amendment. No one person should have unilateral authority to make decisions for millions of Americans, and damn right, no one person should have unilateral authority to make decisions for millions of Americans. Don't ever tell people what to do with their bodies again. It's wrong. And we sure have learned a lot the past couple years. Well, some of us have anyways. Good for Senator Rand Paul. I hope you're ready, because your electric bills are going up, but apparently you're cool with this. So U.S. electricity customers are facing some of the largest bills in years because of volatile natural gas prices, which are being driven higher by winter demand and a global supply shortage being made worse by the Russian war in Ukraine. Already, the natural gas supply crunch has made it substantially more expensive for utilities to purchase or produce electricity. As a result, some customers have seen winter power bills increase by 20% or more compared with the year before, in addition to seeing higher home heating bills. This is increasingly or incredibly frustrating for me, knowing what comes next. But in America, when the majority of people want something, that's how it goes. And right now, this is what the majority of Americans want. People like Larry Summers have said it's our patriotic duty to pay more to help out the Ukrainians. So on this, I guess I defer to all of you out there. If this is what you want, then I'll oblige and I'll pay my fair share. The Hill reported a new survey from a progressive polling firm finds broad support among Americans for financial sanctions that President Biden has imposed on Russia for invading Ukraine, but a partisan divide over the presidential's overall response to the crisis. So 79% of likely voters support Biden imposing financial sanctions on Russia, while only 12% oppose, according to new polling that was shared exclusively with The Hill. This includes 87% of Democrats polled, 78% of independents, and 70% of Republicans. I also read about how 80% of Americans were cool with letting Ukraine refugees into our country. And you know what? I think that is awesome. Good job, America. This is definitely the time to open up our doors and to let the Ukrainians in with love and embrace, open arms. That's awesome. Good job, America. I haven't forgot that there's real people over there, but I haven't forgot all the wars from the past and the fact that there's more coming. Also, don't forget, it's not like Ukraine is a squeaky clean country. Don't forget Biden's linked to pulling some strings in the Ukraine government. Go check out Ukraine's On Fire documentary on Rumble. YouTube took it off. One of the reasons I'm promoting this show through Rumble. So I do feel for the people big time. It's just, there's a lot more at play here, and I think we need to keep perspective. But what the hell do I know? A duel between Musk and Putin, Game of Thrones style. The Mountain vs. the Viper was always one of my favorite episodes and favorite scenes. Super cool. However, I wish the Viper would have won, but anyways, I was a big fan of the Viper. Musk wants to find a way out of this conflict. In a series of tweets on Monday, he appears to have an idea which sounds like dueling, a 15th century practice tied to the question of honor. The billionaire has launched a challenge to Russian President Putin. He offers himself a fight whose stake would be Ukraine. I hereby challenge President Putin to single combat, the billionaire wrote on Twitter account. Stakes are, he added. Musk then responded to a bunch of comments on Twitter saying he's absolutely serious. This is great because Putin used to ride around on horses with his shirt off to show how manly he was and to show how strong he was. Well, here you go, Putin. Let's see if you have the you-know-what to step up to Musk's challenge. I love how Musk just does his own thing, says what he wants, and really just does what he wants. Musk really wants to help Ukraine. He not only sent Starlink, but generators to places that didn't have power, and he continues to pay his Tesla employees in Ukraine. If these two really fought, I would definitely bet on Musk. Neither are in great shape, but Putin is really old, and I'm pretty sure he'll tire quickly, so I definitely got my money on Musk. I like ending the show on positives. Go for a walk today, work out, eat healthy, subscribe to the Jay Rooney Show on Rumble. All right, now go work hard. Have a great day. Jay Rooney Show.